For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perisheth, yet the inward man is renewed. Now, if the inward man is renewed, then the inward man should impact the outward man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, he's not talking about two separate men. He's talking about what, when he says inner man here, some people think that the inner man here speaks of your spirit. Yes. No, here the inner man actually is your soul.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? The quality of knowledge and the impact of the Holy Spirit on your soul should rub off on your physical body.
Yes, sir.
Which is what is known as transfiguration.
Wow.
Yes.
Because it is from inside out,
Yes.
not outside in. It is from what? Inside out. So you can query my weaknesses, but you don't know who I am on the inside. Do you understand? Paul says, my little children whom I travail for in birth, until Christ be fully formed in you. So you see, our day-to-day attendance, coming to hear the word of God every day, causes the inward man, you see, to be fully formed, which is called Christ. What is called the inward man here is what Paul said, referred to as Christ. He said Christ can be formed in you. And if Christ can be formed in you, which is actually your soul, being renewed, regenerated. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If Christ can be formed in you fully, he says, fully formed in you, it means that Christ can be deformed in you.
Jesus.
I don't know whether you're getting this.
Yes,
Please answer us now.
yes, sir.
Wait, prove to us that this thing did not come near you. Answer us, please.
Yes, sir.
Or you want to sneeze, you don't know how to do it. He says, my little children whom I travail for in bed, until Christ be fully formed in you. So which means if Christ is not fully formed in you,
Yes, sir.
you become deformed. Your Christ, the Christ in you can be deformed if you don't allow it to be fully formed in you.
Yes, sir.
You see that? It can be deformed.
It can be
Yes, it
deformed.
can be deformed.
You see that?
It's true.
So which means there are many handicapped Christs
Yes. Yes.
in the lives of many Christians.
Yes, sir.
Now notice he says, my little children,
Yes.
whom I travail for in bed, which means he was acknowledging he was their spiritual father.
Yes.
He said, I'm the one who can really form Christ in you. Because you don't even know what Christ is.
Wow.
But when you find such a Christian leave to go to another church, to go and meet another man of God, that man of God, even though he's called and anointed by God, he can create another Christ in you.
Jesus.
You see, because it is according to the proportion of grace.
Wow.
You see, that's why the members of Apostle Peter never attended Apostle Paul's church. Because they are different graces.
Different graces, it's true.
So to say I'm leaving this church to go to another church and start with another church, well, it's okay. But how long will it take for that minister to form Christ in you? And somebody said he will continue from where that Pastor Joe stopped when I left his church. Well, if that is the case, what if the Christ being formed in you was white with Pastor Joe? Now you left Pastor Joe and went to another pastor, Apostle Callistus, and Apostle Callistus, the Christ is forming in you has a black leg. And so you attached it to do you understand? Do you understand? That's why there are some people, when you try to even assess them in the spirit, you don't understand them.
Wow.
Because they are of a funny creation.
Yes.
Do you understand? They are of a funny creation.
I believe it, sir.
And so they received the leg of Christ, white, from Apostle Callistus. Then they received the right leg of Christ from Reverend Joe. Exactly. They married and then went to another church. So they started receiving Pastor Collins. He started giving them the head, the Chinese head of Christ in them. You see, let's tell you something. You see, when you are transferring to another church, ideally, what you're actually supposed to do, because God, the Bible says, is not the author of confusion. And when the Corinthian church was saying, I'm for Paul, some are for, the Paul says, stop it. This is immaturity. You are carnal. Ideally, if you are transferring to another church, what you are supposed to do, ideally, is that the new pastor you are supposed to meet, right, should reach out to the previous pastor. Ideally, he should reach out to the previous pastor and talk about you and find out from the previous pastor your spiritual level, the last sermon you heard, what he has been teaching you, so that this new pastor will know where to pick up from and know how to mold you right. That's why you can see some people today, they say, I've been to several churches, but the person who is talking, look at their life. I didn't want that for my life, really. I didn't want that for my life. I didn't like that. I still don't like that in my life. And that is why such people, at the end of the day, you see, the impact of things like that, you may never get to see in the first 5 years. You may even never get to see it in the first 15 years. Do you know the most painful experience one can have? Would you like to know?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm not looking at you because you are my mother, you know, do you understand? So I'm not talking to you. But the most painful experience in the Christian walk, in that regard, where people live from one church to one church, is that they will be, the impact comes when they are old.
Jesus.
Did you understand? When they are old, they will see, in their old age, they will see someone who used to be with them in the previous church.
Yes, sir.
Still in that church, excelling. Why they are stuck? Why do you think the angel of the Lord, when he came to Joshua, the servant of Moses, he told him, make sure you continue.
Yes, yes.
In all that Moses, your master, who happens to be my servant, commanded you. Continue in it. Don't deviate to the right. Don't deviate to the left. Don't try it, he says. Continue. Why? Because the spirit of Moses, if it was going to be fully formed, the Christ of Moses, if it was going to be fully formed in Joshua, he has to continue with Moses. Mind you, there was Balaam the prophet on the hills of Moab. Joshua could have just gone to meet him. After all, he was the one, before Moses became a prophet, this guy was already a prophet. Blessing. He blessed the nation of Israel. He should have just crossed over to go and meet Balaam the prophet and say, I acknowledge you as a spiritual leader, as my spiritual father, so bless me. You see this thing? There's so much to say about this spiritual, this thing. And you know, one of the things about occultic attack is they can encourage you to move to other churches. Do you understand? Because those things can also be a cobweb. Where, you see, there are ministers, there are Christians that the enemy can knit a cobweb for. There are others that the enemy can use them to knit their own cobwebs. Somebody is trying to scare me. Nothing will happen. I'm not scared. Listen, I'm not scaring you. You see, the thing is that you will still see. Listen. One thing I've come to learn. One thing we've come to see is this. The day I saw for the first time in my life, I used to hear the word curse, when somebody is cursed. The first day in my life, I met someone who was cursed. It was a woman. And it was my biological father that wanted to pray for her. When I walked in, I came to just visit him. My own biological father. So I stopped to say hello to him. Because I was in a ministry where we were planning for Good Friday miracle service. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So I said, let me stop by to say hello. Because I was around the area. When he said, okay, my son is me now, his biological son. So my son is a pastor, let him pray for you. So I was about to pray for the woman. The Lord said, don't do it. don't pray for her. I said, Madam, the Lord said I shouldn't pray for you. I don't know why. But this woman has 3 children. The firstborn is 9 years old. The secondborn is 5 years old. The thirdborn is 9 months old. The one that is 9 months old, she was backing him. That one is paralyzed from neck down from birth. Then there was one sitting on her lap that was lying down. That's the 5-year-old. That one is paralyzed from neck down from birth. The only child that is normal is the firstborn. And that one was standing next to her, carrying hanky to say, Mommy, don't cry. I will fast with you. I said, you are fasting? She said, yes. She said she's fasting. Well, they put us on 3 days dry fast. This is our second day. I said, you mean this your, and this one is 9 years old. I said, this one has no, she's doing dry fasting. He said, yes. 9-year-old, dry fast. With mommy. Because of mommy's iniquity. Because of the curse over mommy's life. Then, I felt sorry. I looked at the 9-year-old, I felt sorry. I said, let me, I said, Lord, I was not talking to the Lord. He said, Lord, please. The Lord said, ask her what happened in 89, I think 89 or 87. Now, so at the time I was going to pray for her, that day I met her, it was 2007. Do you understand? Yes, sir. How many years is that? 30 years. 30 years. That's what we're saying. When a curse upon someone, the person will not know. Do you understand? Yes, so I met her in 2000. The first time I saw a cursed person in my life was 2007. But this curse was already upon her since 1989 or 87, either of the two, because the Lord told me specifically the day. And she walked out on her pastor because her pastor told her to come and lead prayers. She was upset. Prayer, just lead prayer. She was upset and walked out. She was crying. I thought it was nothing. Then the Lord told me, tell her, that little hole she bore in her ship has become a big hole. It's sinking the ship and sharks are entering. They will eat. I started talking to the Lord. Please. She didn't know I was looking at her and I was talking to the Lord. I said, Lord, please, help this woman. This is almost Good Friday. Okay. Let there be a resurrection of glorious things in her life. I was just talking to the Lord. The Lord was quiet. So I said, Madam, let's pray. So because the Lord kept quiet, I believe the Lord approved of it. As I held her hands to pray, my biological father's regional pastor, Pastor Femi, walked in and said, hey, young man, did God not tell you not to pray for this woman? And that was when I was meeting my biological father's regional pastor for the first time. So did God not tell you not to pray for this woman? Leave her alone. I said, Madam, I can't help you. Anyway, my church is having a program on Good Friday. Try and come. The man of God there has a grace. Maybe, him and God, they are good friends. That's how I spoke to her and I left. So you see, when a curse is in operation, you may not know. The painful thing now is that, you see, one thing about a curse is that a curse comes with a burden. Yes. You see that? A burden. There is a burden the person will carry. It will be publicly embarrassing, yet you can't do anything about it. She can't kill her 2 children. The one she's backing is paralyzed. The one she's carrying is paralyzed. Except she prays for both of them to die. Those kind of people, since it's God that is doing it, they won't die. If you carry a knife and cut their throat, they will only bleed. They won't die. And the husband chased her away. 2 children paralyzed. Do you understand? So the thing is that when a curse is at work, you see, that lady did not allow Christ to be fully formed in her. She had a deformed Christ. This is the danger about changing churches. Now, I'm a product of many teachings, and I will not lie to you. I've been in many ministries before. But guess what? Every ministry that I was ever part of, say it.
Every ministry that I was ever
No, that you, Bro.Osi, were ever part of. Every ministry that I was ever part of, say it.
Every
This is like you, Bro.Osi. All the ministries that I was ever part of, it was the pastors who told me to go. I was not the one who chose to leave. They told me to leave. That's even better. You understand?
Yes.
And this time around, telling me to leave. They didn't just say, go, just go. No, they called me. I knelt down, they prayed for me. All of them. And they kept telling me, go and do what God has called you to do.
You did it the right way.
Well, many don't have the opportunity to. Do you understand?
Yes,
it is true, there are some who don't have that opportunity to do it the right way. Do you understand? And then that requires another exception from God. That's God. Do you understand? Now, I'm not saying I was reading their good books. So, you understand? Those ministers, we had issues. And I'm not denying it. Do you understand? Do you understand? But at the end of the day, we're still good friends today. We still communicate. Still reach out. Although for some, we've not spoken in a long while. But if we see it's a big hug, we'll hug each other and flow. Do you understand? But let's suppose one of them even cost me. At least I'm even going through it now. But how about yours? Do you know which one is coming your way? But actually, none of them did. Because we finally sat down to talk once. And he said, Bro.Osi, honestly, there's something. In fact, there was one pastor who told me, he said, actually, I was not willing to release you. But he said, but the Lord visited me and told me to let you go. I said, really? He says. I said, even God that I'm trying to talk to is not talking to me. He's telling you to let me go. I said, even God is afraid of me now. The man said, why would you see, Osi, that's the problem I have with you. See the way you talk. I said, let God come and meet me. He's talking to you. No, God is not afraid of me. That was just me then in the past. But he says here, even though our outward man perishes. You see, when a curse is at work in somebody's life, it does not affect the outward man. It starts with the inward man where Christ is. As long as that Christ has not been fully formed, he can apprehend him. He will apprehend that Christ and bind it. Then you begin to see the effects of it. There are many Christians today you see in the hospital, lying on the hospital bed. It is curse that is working, but they don't know. They just say, is this flu? Is this flu? And sometimes, you know another painful thing about a curse? Would you like to know?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to know really?
Yes,
when a curse begins to take effect, it will make the person completely forget who said what to you. The person becomes the person will it will even take the one who can see to remind the person. And the person, it's true. Okay, yeah. I remember. The person will not have an idea. Yeah. One day we're going to take a class and look at the mystery of curse.
The mystery of curse.
And then we'll understand the dynamics, the concepts, the reason why God may permit someone to curse someone.
Yeah.
Because God does curse people too.
Yes.
And God's own is worse. You know why? Would you like to know? Yes, because when God curses someone, he will not tell the person. He didn't tell this lady that he cursed her. And he's the one we have to pray to. He said, don't pray. Sister is finished too. Right, Lord, have mercy upon me. Now, someone say, why did you go into all of that? You see something now. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perisheth, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, you see this? You see that? The light is supposed to be a light affliction.
Yes, sir.
But when you discover this thing has continued, and it is not becoming a weight, burden, then you know there's a curse at work. Because it is abnormal for this thing to continue, this affliction. See that? And the thing, like we just told you, the story of that lady we just gave you in 2007. Yes. Do you see how the curse worked?
Yes.
The children.
Yes.
It is the children. It's the children. That's one thing about a curse. Every genuine curse will affect your child. If it's on you, it will affect your children. Your children, no matter how innocent they are, they can never. escape it. In fact, as far as God is concerned, we will take a class on the mystery of curse. The thing about a curse is that the thing about a curse is that the moment you did that thing that warranted the curse, your children, everyone automatically becomes guilty. They become guilty. Do you understand? Spirits don't see them as innocents anymore. The child can be handsome. You say, oh, Papu Nido. Papu Nido. The child is moving. This Papu Nido. This child you are calling Papu Nido. Oh, he's so cute. Spirits don't see this one as cute. Oh. In the realm of the spirit, we will tell you how curses are initiated. The spirits that activate curse. But that's not the class for today. Lord have mercy upon For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. You see that? So when there's a curse in somebody's life, it is not a light affliction. Do you understand? It does not last a moment. It can last for years. Do you understand? It can last for generations. And listen, let's tell you something. You see, again, one thing we need to let you know. You see, people think that when they are cursed, they can break the curse. You can't break a curse. If you are cursed, you yourself can't break it. Not even your child, even if your child is a pastor, can't break that curse. Now, there are two ways a curse can be broken. Eh?
Yes, sir.
First of all, okay, let's just say three ways.
Yes, sir.
First of all, when people are being cursed, one mistake they make once a curse is pronounced on them is they don't pay attention to what was being said.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Let's say Mr. A was cursed in church and it was on videotape. Get the video.
Yes.
Pay attention to what was said against Mr. A. Mr. A, carry that information. Take it to whoever you say you think has a higher grace to break that curse.
Yes, sir.
Let him reverse exactly the things that were said. Because no matter how anointed a man of God is, if he said the curse is broken, it's not broken. Because he doesn't know what was said.
That's true.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So it is even now more dangerous when you don't even know what was said.
Exactly.
You don't even know. Maybe the thing was said behind you, you didn't know. Hi, that one is terrible. Oh. Now, one thing is that mercy does not break curse. The mercy of God can never break a curse.
Wow.
No matter who throws it at you, the mercy of God can never break a curse. I don't know why we're talking about this.
Thank you, Holy Spirit.
The mercy of God does not break curses.
Yes, sir.
The mercy of God does not break curses. Do you realize the children of Israel were under a curse?
Yes, sir.
They surely
Right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, the law.
They were under the curse of the Lord that God gave them.
Yes, sir.
And God was watching them die. Was not moved. Now, you see, just because you went to meet a man of God, he prayed for you, I break that curse, this and that, is not what breaks curse. It's offerings that break curse. But the offerings is not to the man of God who is breaking it. The offerings is to the one who cursed you. That's just the secret. But you see, the one who cursed you is still angry.
Exactly.
So you can't come.
Exactly.
But you may be thinking you are free. Not. That's why there are so many people today under curses who think they are already free. Like we told you, you see the ministers, even though the men of God that I previously served, who released me and all that, even when we had setting, we still said to do.
Yes.
I didn't go to another man of God though. Came back, the pastor. What you are this? You go this. Yes, sir. It's the same person. Now, one thing about a curse is that, you know, another mistake Christians make is, man of God, Reverend, Callistus, for instance, cursed Mr. Y. Mr. Y goes to meet Apostle Silas to break the curse. Question. First of all, do they share the same grace?
No.
No. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's say a pastor of Champions Royal Assembly in another branch, for instance, places a curse on a member who comes to meet me to break that curse. Do you know that it will not be right for me to break that curse?
Yes.
Rather, I will reach out to if I really want to help you, I'll have to reach out to that pastor and tell him, please, forgive the person. Do you understand? And then tell you, go back. Buy this, and give. Even if he tells you you are blessed, take it. If he tells you I reverse it, it's true. That's the easiest way to be free from a curse. But to think now you come to me, Bro.Osi, to break it because we are all pastors in Champions Royal Assembly.
No, you have to go back to the original, right?
Yes, you have to go back to the one who did it. Now, another mistake some people make is that, well, let's say Bro.Osi now place a curse on somebody. And the person said, well, I'll go and meet Papa Joshua Igila to break the curse. You miss it big time.
That's the thing.
Big time.
That's the thing.
You know why?
Why?
Because before our Papa would do anything, he would reach out to me first.
It's so true. So true.
But he's my Papa. It is true.
Yes, sir.
But he will still reach out to me.
Yes, sir. That's the thing.
And it's good for you because obviously if he tells me to let it go, I will let it go. Because he's the boss himself. He's our Papa. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But what if I choose not to let him go? I will not do that because he's the boss.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
But what if I know that he wants to talk to me about what? About that course. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And then I escape. I escape. So I want to say, I say, okay, sir, I'm coming, sir. Do you understand? When I know that it's that matter, sister, you're in trouble. Oh, brother, you're in trouble. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
People don't understand how courses work. And some will say, okay, I leave this ministry, I'll go and meet a man of God with a higher grace. What do you mean higher grace? There's no such thing as higher grace. There's only what you call more grace.
Yes.
More. It doesn't mean it's higher. And grace is to help.
Yes, sir.
Help me break the curse. Break the curse. Okay. What we're trying to show you here is that when you don't see a weight of glory in your life, means something is wrong. Now, what we explain to you is looking at a curse within the confines of ministry. Now, let's read something what Jesus said about a curse. I don't know why it's making me. Let's read something to you that Jesus said about a curse, so that you know that no man of God. Do you understand? Are you listening to us?
Yes,
no man of God can break a curse except the one who cursed you. He is the only person.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to know why?
Why, sir?
If you don't want to know, you just move on. Do you understand? Would you like to know?
Yes, sir.
Matthew chapter 18.
Matthew chapter 18.
Yes, Matthew chapter 18. Then we will now read Romans chapter 7. Now, what if somebody was cursed in Africa and then the person now lives in the US? How do I need to do this and that, this and that's what we're telling you. You see, that's why in matters like that, your pastor now, maybe in America, can help you reach out to the pastor. And quite frankly, in that regard, even though all ministers don't belong to the same ministry, there's always a regard ministers have. Do you understand? I know that, for instance, if a Celestial Church of God pastor reaches out to me now, I'll have to give him that regard. Like, man, I honor you. I'll do what you say. I'll honor you. And if I reach out, I say, please, sir, but you don't know me. You might need my help tomorrow, but please, help. Please. Do you understand? But again, it all depends on how I talk to that minister too. Because some people, they have some pastors who don't talk well. Yes. See this pastor. You go and talk to the pastor who just says it anyhow. Then the person is angry, saying, in fact, that cost I double it. I increase it 200 million times. Listen. Where did you tell you to open to? Yeah? Are you sure? Okay, let's go to, I think, verses 12. Let's start from verses 12. Wait, let me be sure. Because this is not part of what I want to show you. Well, Lord, please help me. I don't know why I came here, man. Okay, let's start from verses 7 first. Let's just read something in verses 7 into verses 8. 1 to go.
Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses.
Woe unto who?
The world.
The world. Do you understand? Yes. So you need to understand this world is already governed by a divine cause.
Yes.
Jesus now is placing a cause into the cosmic. To the world. So there's a curse already hanging in the world. This is why you need to be blessed, to be free from it, because it's in the air.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because there are offenses everywhere.
It's true.
So because of that, Jesus released the curse already. It's already there. Alright?
Yes, sir.
So now already, naturally, without you looking for somebody's offense, looking for somebody's trouble, there's already a curse in the air. Then you now brought yourself again to be in a circumstance where another man of God cursed you again. Hi, that's double tragedy. Okay, now let's read again. Woe unto the world because of what? Offenses. For what? You see that? He said the one who caused the offense is already caused. He said, but there is already an offense in the world. There's already a cause. He said, but now the cause is even greater when it comes through a medium. Okay. Now, he addressed ministers not offending members.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
If you read Luke chapter 17, you will see a clearer picture here from verses 1 to 6. He talked about a minister offending a member because it is possible. Now, I can't say I have not offended people. I have offended people. Somebody say, well, therefore we need to curse you. No, you can't curse me already. You see, if I'm a minister that offended you, what can work against me is already what Jesus already said in the air. The curse that is already in the air. That's what can already work against me because I deliberately offended you. Do you understand? You don't even need to tell me I curse you, brother. I say, no, already, the very fact that I deliberately offended you, there's already something working against me already. Many ministers don't know that there's already a curse in the air. All right? But now let's now look at when, because the minister can still talk to the Lord. He knows what to say to the Lord.
Yes, sir.
If he knows what to really say. Like we said, it takes an offering to break a curse. It's not to bring offering. The one that even God cannot resist. Okay. Go to verses 15. Do you understand what we're saying?
Yes, sir.
Are you upset? Please, I'm not cursing you.
Yes, sir. We are learning.
Okay. Now, let's read from verses 15. This is the part I want you to see. Do you understand? Yes, Jesus already said, if a leader offends a member, there's a curse already that awaits that leader. Whether the member places a curse or not, that one will not even work. If a member curses a leader, now it can't work. Why? Because it takes the one who is higher to place a curse. And Jesus, he is higher than the pastor, than the apostle. So he places a curse already to anyone who offends a member. But like we said, that person can settle with the Lord if he knows what to say. Okay. But what if now a member is not the one that offended the pastor? That's the most dangerous. You know why? Because the member can't talk to God. Exactly. God has no hand in the matter. In that kind of case, believe me when we tell you this, we're going to read it now. God, say God. God. He will always take sides with the minister.
Exactly. That's true.
He will always. That is why if it is the minister who offended you, God has already placed a curse for him. You see that? Yes, that's why he addresses that of the minister first before he now wants to address the member. Remember now, this is verses 15. Yes. Do you understand? Yes. So the case, a curse that God has placed over a minister is terrible. It is very terrible. I mean, you can't escape it. Even Satan can't help you. You just have to settle with the Lord. Do you understand? Yes, but if the minister is not the one that is angry at you and places a curse, even God you pray to will take the minister's side. So two of them together against you. That's double tragedy. Let's see what that person can do to you. What the curse of a minister can do on a member. Like we said, if a minister misbehaves or offends a member, do you understand? You know, someone say, Pastor did not even come to apologize to me first. And when he offended me, he doesn't owe you jack. He did wrong, no doubt. But the person he really owes the apology is God. Because there's a cause for him. So he says, Lord, please, I'm sorry. It is the Lord now that may say, go and apologize to the one you offended. Then the pastor can come and say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I offended you. And all that. Now, what if the member says, I refuse to forgive you? He doesn't do anything to the pastor. When God already told him what to do, and God saw the way you responded. And at that point, if you even choose not to even respond, and then the pastor now gets angry to place a curse, God says, yeah, let's curse this person together. Let's finish this person. That's how God is. Oh. You need to know it about curse. Let's read. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee. Now, notice, he calls the word trespass. He uses the word trespass. Yes, but if the minister offends a member, he calls it offense. Yeah. That's terrible. Yeah. That's terrible for the minister. But when a member offends a minister, he calls it a trespass. That means you crossed into a territory that is not yours. You entered a territory that is not yours. Moreover, if a brother shall trespass against thee, and go and tell him, he said, well, read. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault. Tell him alone, one-on-one. You were not supposed to do that. You were wrong. Don't try that rubbish again. He says, if he shall hear thee, thou shalt what? Gain your brother. So tell him, let bygones be bygones. But if he will not hear thee, take with you one or two more, that in the mouth of one or two witnesses, every word may be established. That means confirmed. Yes, let there be witnesses. Okay. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. So the person should come to the church and say, look, this is what this person did. And I even went with Brother Silas and Reverend Paulinus. We went to see him, to talk to him. He refused to pay attention. He says, tell the church. So how can you just embarrass the person in the church? That's not embarrassment. It's scriptural. He said, tell the church. All right, let's read now. And if he shall neglect them to hear them, tell it unto the church. And if he shall neglect to hear the church, you know what it means? It means that that person automatically, if he's not ready to listen to the correction of the church, the person has forfeited his Christianity. Then the person should be treated as a non-Christian. But the person can still say, I'm a Christian. You will say the person has already forfeited his Christianity. When even church cannot talk to you. Okay, follow this carefully. Now, that's the first part of it. The person has already forfeited his Christianity. but the person doesn't know it too. See that? See the next part. See the next part. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever you bind on earth
shall be bound in heaven.
You see that?
Yes, sir.
He said heaven will walk with you. Once that person has been kicked out, anything you declare about that person's life, heaven will back you up. If you declare the person's life and destiny bound, the person will be seized. The heavens will apprehend the person.
Yeah.
Okay. Read. And whatsoever you shall loose on earth. So it is possible now. Somebody is married, but he is doing, the church corrected him. He's behaving like what? And if I say, this marriage that you are bragging about, in the name of Jesus, we scatter this marriage. He says heaven will honor it. The marriage will scatter. We recall some years ago, many years ago actually, many years ago, we attended a pastor's meeting where the pastor, the senior pastor, he said, how many pastors are in relationships now who want to marry? And many of the pastors stood. So he said, let me see your reports for your church. He saw one. He said, throughout this year, this is what you could produce. Said, Pastor, so let me see your own report. Saw that report. He said, wait. Is it because of marriage that is doing people like this? So okay, now, from today, all your relationships are cancelled. None will work again. We cancel everything. All right, now, go back and work. In a year's time, let's see your report. Then we will decide whether it is okay for you to marry. Yeah. I almost entered under the chair. Yeah. My pastor friend that we were together, he said, Bro.Osi, thank God I don't even have a relationship. So he's good. He's good. And he performed. We worked together because I was his assistant at the time. But now finally I brought one sister to church and I said, sir, this is the lady, this is my girlfriend. That's how my pastor married the lady today. They are husband and wife today. Praise God. But later on, because a year after we attended the pastor's meeting, he said, yeah. He said, relationships are restored. He said, but would you like to say something? The guy said, actually, yes. He said, because really that day, he went to even meet his girlfriend. The girlfriend, she poured hot water on him. Yes, she was not in the meeting. She later came to apologize that something took over her and made her pour water on him. So, yeah. In a sense, there was a slight curse for not producing. That thing that brings you joy will take it away. Now later on, this same man of God was preaching one day. He said, man, I love people. I love people. There's nobody I don't like. There's nobody. I was like, we attended the pastor's meeting that you cancel relationship.
I like people.
I say, Lord, have mercy upon me. Is this how this man of God is? Because then when we go for pastor's meeting, his eyes will be red. But when he's preaching on a regular Sunday, you just be laughing. I say, this pastor, this man of God, he old is too much. Oh. This one has a tiger's tail. Oh.
Tiger's tail.
If you touch it. Again, I say, if two of you shall agree as touching anything that you shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father. You see that? God will take side with the minister. You see that? That's the danger of being under a curse. It's not good to be under a curse. Amen. Say, I refuse to be under a curse. Okay. So where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I'm there. I will approve of it. Say, I refuse to be cursed.
I refuse to be cursed.
Every curse that was working against me, says.
Every curse that was working against me
in ignorance. Father, please overlook my ignorance. And let that curse go. Let that curse go. Overlook my ignorance. And let that curse go. Because the Bible says in the days of ignorance, God overlooked. Yes. There are occasions where God can step in because he knows you didn't know. Father, overlook my ignorance. Overlook my ignorance. Overlook my ignorance. But now that I have told you, you are not ignorant again. I hope you know. Someone say, no, but I did not hear you, heard it.